much for being here. It was great to see you at the business conference.
Great.
And UGG Boots and the whole company is such a well-respected brand these days. I'm
Thank you.
curious, have you had or created the target market? Was there a market or what's the market, or have you created a new one?
A new market meaning for the UGG product.
Yes, yes.
Well,
What was the target market?
when I first started, my target market, everybody in Australia had some sort of sheepskin footwear, so I thought everybody in America would want some sort of sheepskin footwear. But when I tried to go to the shoe stores, we went to 150 shoe retailers that said this will never work in Southern California, and so my target market was everybody, and now I realize that's not going to work. And so when you're an entrepreneur and you hit the wall, you have to figure out a way around it, you know. So I thought, well, how come, when I wear those boots up to the beach at Malibu, in the winter, everybody thinks it's a great idea. And it struck me that all the California surfers had been to Australia and bought 4 or 5 pairs of boots back for their friends in California. So within the surf community, it was pretty well known. And so we completely retargeted our market as surfers, right? And then we started marketing, advertising to the surfers and going in and putting product in surf shops. And that was pretty much how we started it. So it was completely the opposite to what I thought when we first had the idea.
Perfect. Yeah, sometimes we are even being taught like do the opposite. So perfect. Thank you so much. Basically, I'm curious if there was or is a specific or particular breed of sheep that can make the best fleece for the
Yeah.
UGG boots.
Nobody asked that question. It's a fantastic question, and it's a very complex answer. Okay, the merino sheep of Australia and New Zealand are by far the best, and there are, just like every human has different type of skin, sheep have different fleeces as well and different leather, right? So you can have some leather it's really stiff, but the fleece is really wiry and prickly. It's not very good. And you can have some, we would get pairs of boots. The left boot was with a stiff skin, and the right boot was like a soft skin, and that never worked. And so there were so many variables, but the combination of the firm leather and the softest fleece, it comes from the merino sheep of Australia and New Zealand. And to this day, this is 45 years later now, I'd say most of the sheepskin footwear that's produced worldwide still comes from Australian and New Zealand sheepskins.
Wow, excellent, great info. I'm
Yeah.
originally from Czech Republic, and we had also a shoeman, Tomáš Bata. Tomáš Bata, he was well known like decades ago. So I like
Right.
shoes, I like boots. Now it's cold winter everywhere. I'm based in Florida, but you have also a great book, The Birth of a Brand.
Thank you. Yeah.
What would we will more promote it, and it's global so everyone can read it. What
Sure.
would be your key message for people who are starting a brand in
Sure.
different industries, who are rebranding or who are struggling? Because I know your story.
Yeah.
Not everyone know.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Any
book.
tips? Any tips for people, young people, experienced people?
Sure.
2025 is the best year.
Sure. The book is like a roadmap for entrepreneurs, and I wrote it because there were so many really good. There's business lessons, but there's life lessons, which to me are more important. And there's lots of philosophy in there because I love that. And there's even a lot of religion in there because there are things that I learned along the way that gave me a very, very strong sense of belonging with the universe, right? And the theme of the book is that you can't give birth to adults. So if you're starting out a business, just remember it will always, you have the first, the conception of the idea, and then the first action is like the birth. So me buying some samples of UGG boots was the birth of the UGG business. But then it just lied there. And for 2 or 3 years, it was like it was never going to work because I couldn't figure out how to get traction in this, the shoe community. And eventually it took years to get into the surf market. But eventually it started toddling. And that was a really cool phase because, all the first surfers are talking about how cool UGG is, and the first snowboarders are talking about how cool UGG is, and then that went into the youth, which was like all the stores were wanting to carry the product, and I was expanding very, very good, doing, $5, $6, $7 million in sales. And then it got to be the teenage years where it got really out of control there for a while, around 15, 20 million. And then it became mature. And that's the life cycle of every business. So if you are starting a business, just be prepared that once you have the big aha and you're going to be an instant millionaire and everything's rosy, and then you hit this wall, just remember that it's normal, okay? And you're going to have to wait there, just like there's no overnight success. Every business goes through this infancy and toddling phase.
Thank you. Yeah, new normal with Brian. And also you value trust, relationships. You are full of energy. You were strengthening the energy focus on the stage. You were speaking so long, you were all over. How do you keep yourself fit and in order to communicate still with the world and inspire others? What keeps you going? What's
Sure. Well,
super healthy?
Yeah, from a fitness viewpoint, I work out a little bit and I play a lot of golf. I haven't surfed much in the last year or two because I'm just tired of the cold water in California. But I'm looking forward to going to Cabo in a couple of months, so I'll surf again down there in the warm water. But as far as the mental side of it goes, I still love the entrepreneurial process, and I love coming on podcasts like this and being challenged by young people like yourself who give me make me sort of on the spot for why did I do what I did and how is it working, and so it's a lot of fun for me to stay young, to keep up with you guys.
Thank you. Important. And last question, any speaking opportunities, or can we see you at other business conferences in 2025?
Yeah, I love to.
Or what's your focus? What's your
Sure.
vision?
I love to speak at entrepreneurial events. And if any of your listeners belong to companies that have speakers come to their company for motivation or for inspiration, that's what I really, really love to do. So yeah, you can get me through my website, which is easy to find online. And yeah, I'd love to come and speak to any entrepreneurial group I can.
Excellent. Perfect. Let's do it. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you,
We will
Katrin.
share the great mission.
Cool.
Thank you.